welcome. You are watching local public television. This is a weekly series designed to give you transformational tools, tips that you can use to incorporate in your life to create change. The show is called Try This at Home because we hope that you will. My name is Anne Martel. I teach the modern day meditation and also Lamaze at the New Worlds Chiropractic Center in Katona. I'm also an energy healer and I do energetic space clearing. We have a terrific show for you today. I am so excited. This show talks about the transformational power of having a connection with God. For myself, that is one of the most incredible transformational tools that I use. And if you're triggered by the word God, please substitute the word with love and light or whatever divine benevolent energy or whatever term doesn't trigger you. We're going to have a bunch of different major religions represented. Our first guest tonight I'm very excited about. It's Shira Adler. Hi, Shira.
Hi, Anne.
Hi. Shira is a cantor, and she has been a cantor from Malibu to Mayapack, so pretty intercontinentally. And do you want to just explain to our viewers what a cantor is, in case someone doesn't know?
Sure, absolutely. I get asked that a lot, actually. We like to say that we are clergy in the Jewish tradition, and we are the equivalent of rabbis, even though there are some discussions about who really is the boss, you know. But in essence, we lead through music ministry. So we are the equivalent of like rabbis in that we can do all that rabbis do in terms of officiating and creating life cycle ceremonies. And I actually do that privately as well as working at Temple Beth Shalom, currently in Mayapack. And it's a really wonderful opportunity to serve using music as the foundation for helping people find connection and faith and consciousness.
In the meditation that I lead, we have all different types of music, and it helps people to go within. And so I personally feel like music is a major transformational tool in finding one's way to God. I'm wondering if you would sing for us.
Sure.
Would you? That's
I completely
fabulous.
agree with you.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh, good.
It's interesting. In my faith tradition, you know, we have the old music, we have synagogue music. Every person who belongs to a faith organization, sometimes we are most familiar with the music that comes straight from the synagogue or the church that we grew up with. We have melodies that seem so familiar. But for me personally, I find that when I go into a true open space, sometimes I receive new melodies, I receive music. I feel things. I love experiencing world music. I'm drawn to so many different kinds of music. But when I really come back to my core, very often I'll pull in a text that's familiar from my tradition. And this happened to me a while ago. I was in the car in that semi-trance state. You know, we're going somewhere, and as we're just sort of noticing the sky and the way it's coming in through the windshield. Yeah. All of a sudden, I heard a melody and I thought of a line of text. And the text is from the Friday night liturgy. And in Hebrew, it says, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha tachat kanfei hashchina, which means, may you shelter us under a canopy of peace, under the wings of the Shekhinah. And for those who may not be familiar with the Shekhinah, that's the divine feminine aspect of God. It's one of the attributes for those who are familiar with the esoteric form of Jewish mysticism, the Kabbalah, it is one of those divine elements. Wow. And I've always been drawn to the divine feminine, and again, in lots of faith traditions and cultures, we have different ways of referring to that. Wow. And I feel strong connection. So all of a sudden, poof, a whole chant came in, and when I feel that I need to reconnect to something, especially a stressful day with the kids, whatever it is, right, I start humming this.
Okay, terrific.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha tachat kanfei hashchina. Oh shelter us under your canopy of peace, under the wings of Shina.
Wow, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very, very beautiful. Okay, well, believe it or not, that's about all of the time we have left. I can't even believe it. But thank you very much for bringing music into the space. And I'm so happy that you were here with us today. The next segment of our show, I'm thrilled about. One of my best friends in the whole world is here. Her name is Livia, and she is a member of the Muslim religion. And it's Ramadan right now, so she is fasting. And I don't know if you want to share, since today's show is on the transformational tip of having a personal connection with God. I don't know if you want to share about what Ramadan is and how you feel about fasting, but just...
Well, thank you for having me on your show. I fast usually 30 days. Ramadan is 30 days fasting from sunset to sundown.
Okay.
Right now we're breaking our fast at 8 o'clock, which is usually Ramadan. It's in winter, during winter time around December. But with the lunar calendar, it moves around. So right now it's in August, and the days are long.
Oh.
And it's very difficult, but that's all part of fasting, because you have the spirituality. You have to try not to think of anything bad or everything is about God. The stuff you're listening to, the aura, the reading the Quran a lot, listening to beautiful music, no gossiping. You have to try to be pure for that 1 month, and then the rest of the month maybe you could go out and jump off a cliff. I don't know, but the Ramadan
the rest
month
of the
is
year.
just...
During Ramadan, you're
At
like,
least for
you don't
me, I'm
eat
not
and you
talking about
don't
anybody
gossip,
else.
but after
but
that
for
time,
me, yes,
uh-huh.
that's what we do.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I know that you personally have a strong connection with God. I know because we're very close friends, and also I fasted with you.
Yeah,
remember
last year we
I
did that.
fasted with you, and I personally felt very connected during the fasting, because most of us use food as a tool to get some kind of comfort here.
Yes.
And so when you're fasting, you actually have to go within and look for comfort somewhere else,
Yes.
which often
Which is really difficult.
is
It's very
difficult
hard.
and brings you to God. And I want to say that my relationship with you brings me... She's laughing because she knows I'm going to say something that's totally inappropriate. But my relationship with you increases my connection with God, because whenever I feel love, I feel connected with God. And between Livia and I, we really don't have any separation. No. I never feel judgment from her.
No.
I wouldn't judge you. We
Right.
talk about everything that in detail that anyone could talk about. I'm just saying this because my fear is that during these times, people might have some kind of concept about
Yes,
what being
about
Muslim
who they are, yes. Who they are
is
to me.
like. And
Yeah, actually, sorry cutting you off, but
no, please.
it's just, it teaches you how to stay without food all day and thinking about all the poor people around the world and bringing you closer to that, which in America, nobody knows the pain of hunger. I'm from West Africa, Guinea-Conakry especially, and we could go days without food, like, nothing at all. And when you're fasting in Ramadan, you're used to that, basically. And it's the best month of the year because your parents had worked so hard to bring that food around 6, 7 o'clock, whenever time you break your fast, and have that. You're sharing that with the community, and everybody's fasting together. There is a togetherness in Ramadan, which is very, very, it's the most beautiful time. I love the month, but usually being a woman, you can only fast, I guess, 25, depending on how old you are or how young you are, because you have your period time, so you have 10 days your excuse from
You don't
fasting.
fast
You
during
don't
that time.
fast as a woman. So
Okay.
God excuse you. He's so wonderful.
All right,
Us
good.
women, we're great.
We can talk about, Livia and I talk about that time of the month.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You get excuse from that. And
Okay.
growing up, I used to make up stories, tell my
Oh,
dad. I was
God,
always
listen to her.
busy with that, and
She's like,
he
Aunt Flo
believed
is
me.
here.
Yep,
Aunt
all
Flo's
months.
here.
And my dad would literally believe me. Dad, I'm on it.
And then did you have a conversation with God about like, okay,
And you feel
God, I'm
bad
lying
because
about
I'm
that
so
right
sorry. I just can't. And then I have a little sister who is right now in Canada, and she doesn't fast. She says that,
she doesn't.
I would say something very outrageous on TV, but it's okay. To her, she's like, it's so hard being a Muslim. You have to pray the 5 prayers of the day, and then you have to fast. God has made it so difficult for us Muslims to just be a Muslim. It's just so hard. And then you have other people making it harder. So
Like the
it's
rules.
a struggle a daily basis.
Do you feel like it's the rules that are what make it
The
hard?
rules are so
of
hard.
the
It's
religion.
a struggle. The religion itself. They made it so difficult that, to me at least.
So I'm just wondering, I feel like when you and I talk about God, whether it's Allah, whether it's Christ, whether it's,
Moses,
Elohim or
yeah.
whatever name,
It's
the
the same
divine
God.
source of
It's the same
love,
God.
I think it's the same God.
Yes, to me too.
And it's directly connected to love.
Yes.
And,
It is.
No
We're all the
judgment
same thing, no judgment whatsoever. We have the same blood running through our veins, and you can say what you want, but God is great, and He's up there watching over all these people. Whether you're Jewish, blue, black, red, green,
that's right.
you're going to die, go down there and meet Him someday. And if you don't believe meeting
Or
Him,
go
nobody
up.
has ever gone and come back. So
Right.
we don't have any proof to that, but we're
That's
just
right.
doing it. I grew up, I don't know a lot about my religion. I just love it. And I am so clueless about it. It was only when I came to America that I literally could pick up the Quran and touch it, because it was just this thing, like if you even say why did you do this? You feel like His wrath is going to come down on you.
Oh.
And it was my husband who said, He's not up there just telling you if you think bad about Him, He's going to just strike you. He's just a wonderful, loving God, and I try to appreciate it now more and more. Wow. But I'm the wrong person to ask about Islam and all that. I love it. I just follow it. It's my religion.
All right.
You know?
Well, I know you love God, and you
That's
love your
it.
husband, and you love your friends.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful that you came here to be with us
Thank
today.
you very much for having me.
And we still have Reverend Mark from the Christ Church on Quaker Hill coming, and CPR Dave to end the segment. So thank you, Olivia. I love you.
Thank you very much for
And,
having me over.
And we'll hopefully have you back soon.
Got that right.
Thank you. We have a very special guest for our third segment of today's show, focused on establishing your personal connection with God. I am here with Reverend Mark Allen from Christ Church on Quaker Hill in Pauling. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
So I'm wondering, did you always have a personal connection with the divine? When did you realize that it was important to you?
Well, I grew up in the church, so I would say that I've definitely always felt very connected to God through the Christian church. So it's something that's been a part of my life for my entire life.
And can you offer viewers a way that you connect to God? Is it mostly through prayer? Is it through reading? Is it through, research, singing? Like, what way do you connect the most?
Well, certainly being a minister,
Right.
worship is one of the ways that I feel very connected to God.
Right.
But I think maybe one of the ways I feel more connected is some of the ways of thinking about being a Christian. For instance, we think of who we are in relationship